Nearly 4 million acres. That's how much land is actively on fire across the American West right now, an area bigger than the entire state of Connecticut. And it's only August 15th. 93 uncontained wildfires are burning at this exact moment. We're sitting at 155% of the 10-year average for acres burned. This is the worst start to a fire season in modern U.S. history. And here's the number that should stop you cold. Overnight, near Rogue River, Oregon, a fire went from 10 acres to 550 acres. That's a 55x jump in under 24 hours. All it took was a truck tire blowout and the wrong wind. Today we're covering the fires, the air quality, and a weather setup over the next 5 days that has meteorologists genuinely worried. Let's get into it. This is the most urgent story on the board this morning. Yesterday afternoon, the Fielder Mountain Fire was a small roadside fire off the I-5 corridor near Rogue River. 10 acres, nothing unusual. By sunrise today, 550 acres, 0% contained. If you're between Grants Pass and Medford, this is your fire right now. Over 1,000 people are under Level 3 evacuation orders. That's go now, don't wait. Another 2,000 residents across Jackson and Josephine counties are on Level 1 or Level 2 alert. I-5 is still open, but expect major delays northbound through the fire zone, and several local roads are closed outright. Check Genesis for live evacuation boundaries. Conditions on the ground: 91 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity down at 18 to 22%, southwest winds gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour. That's about as combustible as the atmosphere gets. And the cause? Early reports point to a single truck tire catching fire and igniting nearby vegetation. One tire. That's the margin fire season is working with right now. North Medford School in Grants Pass is open as an emergency shelter for people and pets. 10 miles east of Government Camp, the Grasshopper Fire has burned 85,114 acres and is 30% contained. Real progress, but far from over. At least 6 homes are confirmed destroyed, and the fire is now threatening the Mount Hood Meadows community directly. Nearly 1,900 personnel are on this one: hotshot crews, helicopter teams, dozer operators. Overnight, crews ran a tactical firing operation near Shady Brook, a deliberate, controlled burn to strip fuel from the fire's path before it arrives. It's slow, precise, dangerous work. Conditions today: 78 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity 25 to 30%, slightly better than yesterday, but isolated thunderstorms are possible this afternoon near the Cascade Crest, and any wind shift from those storms could flip fire behavior in minutes. Air tankers, super scoopers, and ground crews are all working the eastern flank today. This one's hard to talk about. 2 miles west of Sprague River, the Bright Spring Fire has burned 53,610 acres and is just 6% contained. On August 7th, a 47-year-old dozer operator named Jason Ensign from Klamath Falls was killed when the fire cut off his escape route. Today, a memorial procession will honor him. Rain moved through overnight, but don't be fooled. That fuel will dry out fast, and fire activity is expected to pick back up by mid-afternoon as temperatures climb. Air quality around Klamath Falls and Chiloquin is starting the day moderate to poor from smoke that settled overnight. Expect improvement by afternoon, but Bonanza and Tula Lake should brace for moderate to unhealthy for sensitive groups conditions by evening. If you've got asthma, heart disease, or any respiratory condition, stay inside today. The Fremont-Winema National Forest closure remains in effect, and a reminder that matters more than usual right now: do not run chainsaws near fire areas. A resident doing defensible space work started a brand new fire yesterday. Crews happened to be close enough to knock it down fast. That won't always be the case. This is the record setter. The Big Grass Fire has now burned 581,325 acres across eastern Oregon and into western Idaho, the largest wildfire in modern Oregon history, with more than half its acreage now in Idaho. About 160 people remain evacuated, more than 300 structures are threatened, and the fire sits at 54% containment thanks to 1,200 personnel grinding out line by line. A red flag warning was in effect until 8 p.m. last night, and gusty winds plus thunderstorms remain the ongoing concern. North at Pendleton, the Hagen Fire has burned 54,484 acres, 11% contained. Some actual good news here. Cooler temperatures and higher humidity let crews make real headway yesterday, with retardant aircraft slowing the spread. Hand crews plan to extend fire lines today, though that same humidity raises thunderstorm odds, so fire weather teams are watching closely for new lightning starts. Near Fossil, the Roe Creek complex, 373,783 acres, is in much better shape at 89% contained. Fire activity has gone quiet, and crews have shifted to mop-up and perimeter work. Evacuees in Jefferson and Wheeler counties are starting to return home, and the Red Cross shelter in Prineville closes Saturday at noon. One good story out of this fire: the historic Howard School, built in 1915, was saved when a heavy equipment operator cut a dozer line around the building moments before the fire arrived. Near Leavenworth, the Little Giant Fire on the Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest has burned 128,850 acres and is only 7% contained, 30 miles northwest of town, showing active, wind-driven fire behavior. It's pulling the largest personnel commitment of any fire in the country right now, 2,266 people assigned. Near Snoqualmie Pass, the Three Queens Fire has burned 3,534 acres and is threatening numerous homes. Evacuations are active. Conditions across eastern Washington: 88-93 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity 15 to 22%, southwest winds around 20 miles per hour, essentially the same volatile setup that's driven fire growth all week. North of Reno, these are a different kind of story. The Bug Fire, started August 8th, has burned 88,422 acres and is 31% contained. The Stallion Fire, started August 10th, has burned 40,689 acres and is 44% contained. Both are confirmed human-caused, burning through grass, brush, and pinyon juniper. The good news: rain on the 13th gave crews a real window, and containment on the Bug Fire more than doubled overnight. Highway 395 has reopened, and evacuation orders have lifted for parts of Red Rock Road and Hungry Valley. Reno conditions: 95 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity 20-28%, winds gusting 35 to 40 miles per hour. Those erratic thunderstorm outflow winds are the wild card that can redirect flames with zero warning. Evacuation Center: Evelyn Mount Community Center, 1301 Valley Road, Reno. Small animals: Washoe County Regional Animal Services. Large animals: Reno-Sparks Livestock Events Center. Questions: Washoe County 311. As of August 11th, there have been 50 reported drone incursions near wildfires nationwide this year, 24 of them in Washington state alone. Every single one is illegal, and every single one is dangerous. When a drone is spotted near a fire, every aircraft has to stop. Tankers, helicopters, everything. Grounded until the area is clear. 3 minutes on the ground can be the difference between a saved home and a lost one. If you fly, they can't. Don't fly drones near wildfire activity, period. Oregon's DEQ has an air quality advisory active through at least August 17th for eastern Clackamas, Crook, Hood River, Jefferson, southern Wasco, and Wheeler counties, with intermittent smoke expected in Deschutes, Grant, southern Jackson, southern Klamath, Union, and Wallowa counties. Wildfire smoke carries fine particulate matter under 2.5 microns, smaller than a human hair, small enough to reach deep into your lungs and even your bloodstream. If you're in a smoke-impacted area, close windows, skip strenuous outdoor activity, and if you're pregnant, young, or living with asthma or heart disease, stay inside or leave the area. The Oregon AQI app has real-time local readings. Here's where this gets complicated. A trough, a dip in the jet stream, is sliding toward the coast, bringing moisture and instability. Normally that sounds like relief. The catch: these storms may produce far more lightning than rain. That's dry lightning, bolts that reach the ground while the rain evaporates before it does. The National Weather Service has its highest confidence in dry lightning running from northwest California, across the southern Cascades, through Oregon and into far western Idaho, tonight through Sunday morning. If even 10 to 20 new lightning-caused fires ignite in remote terrain tonight, initial attack resources, already stretched thin at National Preparedness Level 5, the highest tier that exists, will be maxed out. Thunderstorms are possible by early afternoon Saturday near Mount Hood, and any wind shift could directly hit crews working the Grasshopper Fire's eastern edge. In Nevada, another storm round could help or hurt the bug and stallion fight. Rain moderates fire behavior, but outflow winds up to 40 miles per hour can push flames into unburned fuel instantly. Saturday forecast snapshot. Portland wedge degrees Fahrenheit, smoke likely Medford wedge upper 90s Klamath Falls, upper 80s to wedge 90 degrees Fahrenheit Reno NV, lower to mid 90s Spokane WADA, 90 degrees Fahrenheit Seattle WADA, 79 degrees Fahrenheit, possible smoke by Sunday Denver, COX 7 degrees Fahrenheit. Afternoon storms, elk fire near Lake City remains a concern. Check weather. Gov for your local NWS office's official forecast. This is the part that needs your full attention, and I want to be upfront that the models don't fully agree yet. Once this storm system clears, a strong high-pressure ridge, hot, sinking, bone-dry air, is building offshore and could surge inland. Roughly half of ensemble model members favor this ridge building over the Pacific Northwest. The other half favor a cooler trough instead. It's a genuinely split forecast. If the warm scenario verifies, temperatures climb back above normal and humidity drops with it, stressing fuels that are already critically dry. When relative humidity falls below 15%, alongside temps above 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and winds over 20 miles per hour, that's the textbook recipe for explosive fire behavior. There's also a wild card worth watching: east wind events through the Cascades and the Columbia River Gorge. When high pressure builds east of the mountains, air gets pushed down through the passes, compressing and heating as it descends, sometimes 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit in just a few miles, and stripping out any remaining moisture. Some GFS runs hint at this developing early next week, though again, not all models agree. If it happens, fires on the Cascade slopes would face rapid, unpredictable wind shifts. 3 scenarios for Monday, Wednesday. Best case, the ridge is weaker than forecast. Humidity holds above 20%, winds stay under 25 miles per hour. Containment lines hold, and lightning-caused fires from this weekend stay small. This is a real, live possibility. NWS Portland hasn't ruled it out. Middle case, the one I'd lean toward, though this is my read, not an official forecast. Temperatures hit the upper 90s to around 102 degrees Fahrenheit in southern Oregon. Humidity crashes to 12 to 18%. Big grass and grasshopper see significant additional growth, tens of thousands more acres. New lightning fires from this weekend grow large because initial attack is already stretched thin. Expect additional evacuation orders across multiple counties in Oregon and possibly Washington. Worst case, I'd put this at 20-25% probability, but it needs saying. East winds develop and strengthen through the Cascade passes, pushing smoke and flame toward western slope communities. The Grasshopper Fire makes a wind-driven run toward the west side of the Cascade crest. Big grass crosses major control lines. Multiple new fires merge into complexes. This is the same setup that produced Oregon's catastrophic million-acre week in 2020. Low probability, but with 93 fires already uncontained, low probability doesn't mean low stakes. NWS fire weather outlooks already show elevated to critical fire potential for Monday through Wednesday. Watch for red flag warnings as we move closer and the picture sharpens. Sunday evening's model run will be the one that really locks in, or shifts, this outlook. By Wednesday, August 19th, both the GFS and European models show a Pacific low-pressure system approaching the coast, potentially bringing light to moderate rain to coastal Oregon and Washington. Real relief for the coast. The problem, the fires that need it most: big grass in eastern Oregon, Klamath County, the Cascade interior, are likely too far inland to see much benefit. The rain may arrive, but only as a fraction of an inch for the places that need it most. That's fire weather in the west. Precipitation and fire location rarely line up. Bottom line, next 5 days tonight Sunday, dry lightning is the #1 threat. New fire starts highly likely across Oregon and Idaho. Monday, Tuesday, watch closely. Possible east winds, continued dry conditions, forecast still uncertain. Wednesday, a Pacific system may bring coastal relief. The interior stays hot and dry. This is moving fast. I'll have a full update Sunday evening once the new model runs are in. If you're in or near an active fire or evacuation zone, monitor your local alerts and keep a go bag ready. For Oregon evacuation maps, Genesis. For Washington and Nevada, your county's emergency management site. And one more time, do not fly drones near wildfire activity. Stay safe out there.